Good afternoon, Country Changers. I'm joined by Brian Liston from Nutrien Harcourts Albury this afternoon to talk about the Greater Hume Shire. Thanks for joining us, Brian, because I think you're going to add a lot of value to this webinar, given the fact that you've been a real estate agent in the region for 17 years, but you actually have lived there and worked there for a number of decades too. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Laticia. Thanks very much for having us.
So firstly, let's start with the Greater Hume Shire, and I guess just giving our viewers a bit of an idea of where the Shire is located.
We're located between the regional cities of Albury and Walla, and we're also roughly midway between Melbourne and Sydney. So Melbourne's about 4 hours roughly, or just under 400 kilometres to our south. Sydney's just under 500 kilometres, or roughly 5 hours to the northeast. We're really well connected. We've got the Hume Highway running through, so straight through to Melbourne, Sydney, or wherever you'd like to go. We also have the XPT train service, which goes from Melbourne to Sydney twice daily each way, and also connected with airports. So Melbourne and Sydney, there's multiple flights from both Albury and Walla airports. So great spot.
And one of the things that I should clarify for people who live in cities, when country people talk about 400 kilometres down the road, we know that it's only going to take a certain amount of time, like 4 hours, as opposed to, you know, 6 kilometres in the city could take you 4 hours. So I think that's the difference. And making that kind of drive, I mean, when I lived near there, I just popped down to Melbourne for the weekend. It was great.
Yep. Yeah, down to the footy. Our 4 children have grown up in Henty, which is midway between Albury and Wagga. They've done all their schooling here, and they've all headed off to regional capital cities. So yeah, you can quite easily duck down for a weekend to catch up with them. Footy, cricket, whatever you like.
So just tell me about the Greater Hume Shire, because it is interesting that it comprises of lots of little different towns and villages.
Yep, the Greater Hume Shire, I'm not sure of the area we cover, but quite a variety of landscape from the Upper Murray, you know, beautiful rolling hills, and the Great Dividing Range, out onto the plains. So it's quite a diverse landscape. We do have the Billabong Creek running through the middle of the Shire, which is reputedly the longest creek in the world. The Shire has a population of, in 2016, there was just over 10,000 people. But we have quite a number of small towns and villages, which a lot of people choose to live and work either locally or commute, like myself, to Albury or Wagga. So
can you list those towns and villages for us so people get a feel for the area?
Yeah, well, I live at Henty, which, as we say in Henty, there's plenty, and we're the centre of the universe, but there's just over, I think there's about 1,100 people in Henty. Culcairn and Holbrook are 2 good-sized towns. Holbrook has 1,800 odd people. Culcairn has about 1,200. Walla, Jindera. Jindera is very close to Albury, but still in our Greater Hume Shire. So, and then you have smaller villages, Walbundries, and up into the hills, Tuna, Gingellic. So some lovely tree chain spots to live and work from.
And I think most people know in Holbrook, the submarine. I think that's become quite iconic. Even if people don't know the name Holbrook, they've seen that submarine somewhere.
Yeah, it came down the Billabong in a big flood many years ago. So, but yeah, it is quite famous for the submarine. The town was named after Commander Holbrook, who was the submarine commander in the First War.
There you go. I'm sure it didn't come down the Murray River, but anyway, people will believe you.
A good yarn.
It is a good yarn. Excuse me. So I guess people at the moment, one of the hottest topics since COVID is property. People are scooping up property, probably because we can't fly anywhere. People are wanting to invest, but they're also wanting to relocate. I think lockdown during COVID has made people reevaluate where they want to live and how they want to live. What's been going on in the property market for the past 6 months to a year?
I suppose this time 12 months ago, with COVID becoming the talking point, everyone was really worried that it would have a big effect on the whole region and all country areas, but it had the opposite effect. It's very hard to keep properties listed now. They're usually selling very quickly in all the country towns and villages. For example, Henty now, there is only 1 or 2 homes left on the market. Across the Shire, there's a bit of a diverse range of homes and properties for sale. But for, say, a residential home, I think the median price for the Shire is about $275,000 or $6,000. And then from there we go to, bigger lifestyle. You can buy 2 hectares, 5 hectares, or lifestyle properties up to farming properties.
So in terms of, with property being so hard to get, are there any opportunities for people to purchase new developments?
There are quite a few new developments just coming on. Jindera in particular does have a new development, and Walla. And there are new developments flagged for Culcairn and Henty. Holbrook, I'm not sure, I think they have a new development coming on there as well. Because so many of the properties have sold and there aren't a lot of residential blocks left, so the Shire has been very proactive in getting some new listings or some new subdivisions going.
Oh, that's good, because I think a lot of towns are struggling at the moment with the stock shortages and just the demand. People are literally homeless across various parts of regional Australia at the moment. So it's good that the council's been proactive with that.
Very.
So tell me a little bit about I'm just sort of referring to my notes, so excuse me for looking down. When we talk about the lifestyle of the Greater Hume, you've mentioned the fact that you've got Albury, Melbourne on your doorstep. Sydney is not too much further either. But what are some of the activities that people can enjoy from a lifestyle perspective?
We do have a lot of people moving from the major or the capital cities purely to retire. You can sell up your home in Sydney, Melbourne, or one of the regional cities and downsize with quite a bit of cash left over to live on. So we do have a lot of those retirees coming down, as well as families coming here where they can either work locally or commute. But great range of activities. We came to the Shire, Greater Hume Shire just on 30 years ago with no children, and our girls played netball, cricket, tennis, swimming. Most of those towns have really good sporting facilities. We have skate parks. There's pony club in most towns. But through the winter, probably the major sporting bodies would be the football, Australian rules football and netball, and then in summer cricket, tennis and swimming.
And having lived near there, I can vouch for the fact that those two things are taken very seriously come those seasons, and it's expected that you turn up.
It is indeed, yeah. But it's a great social outing. We've always found it very safe. You take your children to whatever sport it is and they're safe. But also there's the other cultural aspects. There's a lot of art classes going on in the various towns, art, drama, quite a wide range of activities.
Oh, and don't forget the natural beauty. I mean, you've got some of the most beautiful walks and hikes and lookouts up there. We've got a number of videos that we've recorded with people from the Greater Hume where we showcase some of those, but it is spectacular. It
is spectacular along the Billabong Creek. Quite a few up into the Upper Murray. There's some beautiful walks and rail trails. And then quite a few natural features. You know, Morgan's Lookout at Walla Walla. There's a magnificent viewing point around the country. Our Shire recently upgraded the steps up to the top of it's a granite peak. There's much to do, lots to do. Yeah.
Now, in terms of, given the market is a little bit tight at the moment and you are a relocator, albeit 3 decades ago, what advice would you give professionally and personally to anyone who's looking to make a tree change to the Greater Hume region?
Oh, look, you probably need to come and experience the region or the area for a start. There's lots of accommodation down here, but come and have a look around. You know, you can stay in any of those towns, lots of Airbnbs, motels, hotels, and just get a feel for the place first. But probably if you're looking around, have a look through the websites. I think all agents, real estate agents, will be in the same position at the moment. They have very little stock on hand. So if you're interested, register your interest with the agents, let them know what your budget is and what you're looking for. And get on the list, because a lot of properties don't make it to the market anymore. They're sold to someone. A lot of people are happy to sell prior to advertising if they get the right price. So that happens quite often.
Okay. And what about assimilating into a community if they do manage to make that change to the region? What's a local tip for making friends and connecting in with the community, apart from going to football and netball?
Oh, look, I think any of the small towns and villages, if you're prepared to become part of the community and join in, you'll have no problems whatsoever. Just to walk down the main street, all of our towns have very good facilities, you know, supermarkets, hardwares, butchers, bakers, you know, a really wide range of your everyday needs. We would do probably 90-something% of our shopping in Henty. And when you walk in the main street, everyone knows who you are, where you've been and what you've done. So it's a great community and very safe.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking to us, and we'll put your contact details also in this post. So if people do want to register their interest with you to inspect some properties, we can have those details as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Good on you, Laticia. Thank you.